Hello everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to create this space scenery in the app IBIS PAINT X. So let's get started. First I'm going to open a fixed canvas in my IBIS PAINT X app, and here in the first layer I'm going to add some gradient background blue color. So I'm going to use the default gradient backgrounds available from the filter draw. So here in the parallel gradation we can find so much different variation of gradation, and here I'm using some blue color and I'm just inverting to top to bottom like that. And I feel like the sky is lighter, so I want to make it a little bit darker. So just by clicking on that diamond symbol I can choose the color. So I'm choosing little bit darker than that, but still I want a more darker sky. So first I created this, then using the airbrush normal I'm just shading with the navy blue color like this, from in the direction from like top to bottom. In that way I'm adding the shade. Now in the new layer I'm going to add the stars. So for that I'm using glitter one add brush, and to add some variations to your stars in terms of color, in terms of size and brightness, consider changing the size and the opacity, or you can also try with changing the color of the star. Like I tried something like blue color, navy blue color, and I used that color. The stars are very dull, so it looks like some brighter stars and some dull stars. So to create that look you can try this. Don't just follow that one color for the star. Now I'm just using the eraser airbrush to erase them here and there, so that to make it look like a random bunch of stars instead of like fully stars at the top, not like that. And here in this new layer I'm going to draw the mountain. For drawing mountain I'm using the laser fill tool, and I'm using some navy blue color like this. And using some mild blue color I'm adding some details for this mountain. So to add mountain details you can either try any other brush like hair brush or round brush normal, something like that, or otherwise you can use this method just using the laser fill tool with reduced opacity. Just by moving your hands in the zigzag way you can create these details, and you can try with the different color shades like this. I just increase the opacity. I didn't use multiple color, just keeping on with the one color but changing its opacity like this. Now I'm going to add some blurry foggy details in front of this mountain. So using the airbrush normal and some mild blue color and then almost like a white color I'm adding this detail, then creating another layer to create the same similar mountain, but in smaller size in front of that mountain that we have already created like this. And here as well. Now I just using the same process, so I just increase the speed of this video here. Again, I'm going to add some foggy detail using the airbrush, like this. I also tried some darker shade, but it didn't end up well. So coming back to the white color, I shaded the foggy details with white color, like this. Now I'm going to draw a planet which is partially visible, like in a crescent shape. So what I'm doing is I'm using the laser fill tool along with the circle tool to create this. Then using the eraser, laser eraser, and the same circle tool, I'm going to erase this part like this. So we can create that crescent shape very easily using this method. Now I'm also going to add some darker texture details for this planet. So I'm using watercolor bleed brush, using some darker shade, something like a navy blue. And then very darker shade. Once we're done, I'm just creating a new layer with multiple blending mode. So in this layer, I'm going to add some details for the planet. Some details that we can see in many illustration for the planet. Some circle, irregular shape details. So I'm going to create the same kind of details here for this planet, like this. Then using the airbrush particle L brush, I'm going to add some darker shades, texture shades for this, like this. Make sure you click that in a clipping mode. Then I'm choosing some reduced opacity shading. Now in a new layer with add blending mode, I'm going to add the highlight details with the same color in the left part of that planet. So it's a concept like at the right side it is darker and in the left side it is light. Now I just moved the multiply blending mode layer to the top because I'm not able to see the that planet details well when it is behind the highlight layer. So to create some shiny highlight details, you can choose airbrush normal, and if you want to add some textured details, then you can go for airbrush particle, like this. Also adding some bluish shade, then aqua blue shade at the top of that planet to make it more 3D. So like this. Adding some aqua blue color here. Now I'm going to create a new layer with add blending mode again. This is also going to be the clipping layer for this planet. And here I'm going to add some highlights for that details in particular. So I'm using airbrush normal, and adding some strokes like this. So when you add multiple strokes one over another, you can get some glowy look like this. Like this. And like so in the same way, I'm adding for all these details in the entire planet. If you feel it darker, you can just reduce the opacity of the layer and check out which looks perfect. Now I'm going to erase the bottom of the planet little bit to make it look like it is faded away behind the clouds. So something like that. Now I'm going to create another planet which is far away from our look. So just creating another circle. So this is going to be same as that, but in shape of a circle. And I'm going to add some 3D details here just by using the add blending mode layer and adding the highlights like this. Yeah, now it looks like 3D one. So now I just made that layer planet layer to alpha log, and I'm going to add some landscape details. So similar to that we have seen in for the earth, we can see some kind of shapes like this. So I'm just creating such a shapes here. Don't make any perfect shape, just make and keep it like a random shape to make it look like realistic. And here I'm adding highlight again little bit. Now I'm going to I'm going to put everything inside a folder that so that I can move it behind the mountain layer like this. Now create another layer to create some northern lights. So I'm just keeping this layer blending mode as overlay and using the airbrush normal. I'm going to add some lights like this using some white, aqua blue color and bright blue color. Then using the liquify pen tool, I'm going to create some wavy look like this. Just move in a circular motion in the forward and as well as in the backward direction to create like this. And now I feel like it is more brighter and I'm not able to see the sky clearly, so I'm erasing the lights using the airbrush eraser like this. So you can try either by reducing the opacity of the layer or by using the eraser like this. Now just reduce the opacity. Also I'm going to add some lights behind the mountain, so I just created a new layer and using the add blending mode, using some aqua green, aqua blue color as well as white color to add some lights like this. Okay, now it looks perfect. Also we can try any bright color that you like based on the concept. color palette of that illustration. And now it is okay, everything's perfect. I'm going to save this as PNG and I will show you how my artwork looks. So this is our final artwork. I hope you like this. You learned something new. We learned some new ideas, creativity, everything. So if so, subscribe to my channel and thank you for watching.